Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and a Lego set. I'm doing a little bit of everything. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not a subscriber, you can just say hi. If you don't feel like chatting, that's also okay. But you've got options, and that sounds neat, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the stream tonight. We are working on the Dune Buggy. Dude wants his rug. He's here. Hi, Dude wants the rug. I already did the Dune Buggy part, so now I'm going to build a Lego plane. Lashbrook is here. Hi, Lashbrook. So I got a little Lego plane to build. And then when that's done, I'm going to build myself, disassemble it, and then build myself a little Lego ATV vehicle, all-terrain vehicle. I said ATV vehicle. It's ATV or all-terrain vehicle. I made a classic blunder. Like ATM machine. That's not. It's an ATM or it's an automated teller machine. So, that's just me. We're going to wait and see if a few more folks want to join us tonight before we get to the building portion of the stream. This is the pre-show segment here, our intro, you could call it. And we're just going to hang out. This is going to be a fun little Saturday because, like, those two Lego sets, that's going to be like an hour and maybe a little bit. We're going to finish up before that. So I've got a model kit to start building, and that is the Leo NPD from Gundam Build Divers. You may recognize the Leo from Gundam Wing, and you might be like, what's NPD stand for? Well, it stands for Non-Player Driver. That's right. It's a grunt. This is an NPC, but because it's Build Divers and you're diving in because that's the thing, it's basically like an NPC. But a mech. It's a grunt. We're going to build a grunt mobile suit. This thing, look, they want you to buy several of these, and I get why they do. Because they come with different heads. You can swap the heads out, and you can be like, this one has a gun, this one has a beam saber and a shield. We're going to mix things up. You can also get the other, if you wanted to, you get like mix and match parts with the other Leo, which we built last year, so kind of recently. But yeah, it's got a lot of different stuff you could do with it, which I appreciate. Because it just comes with different heads, and you can change the colors. Unfortunately, while it does come with 4 different heads, it does come with more stickers than that. So you could eventually replace the stickers with other stickers, but you can't do like all of the options. So we'll make a choice. We'll do like red, green, and yellow, or blue, I should say. It says blue. It's like a teal. It's like a teal. But we'll like make sure we pick one of each color for each one, so that we can kind of mix and match it. That'll look cool. But yeah, you can just swap out the heads. That's neat and different. We're gonna get building in a minute or two. I hope you're all doing okay here on this Saturday. It's kind of a weird day for me. I had to get a bunch of stuff done quickly, and then I was moderating a little bit in the Game Developers of Color Expo, which is usually a public event, and because of the world, can't be. So I was in there just kind of moderating chat and keeping an eye on things, answering questions, and watching some cool panels. They're short. They're mostly short subject panels, but like really interesting. Obviously, they are geared towards game creators and enthusiasts, specifically of color. But a lot of these lessons can apply to folks that are queer or folks that are not marginalized in any way, but just maybe need a little motivation. A lot of them are, realistic, if not positive. And then there was one talk. The nice thing is, look, it focuses on folks that are devs of color. But there was a talk today, just was done by a person of color, but it was about a level in Psychonauts 2, because she's the designer. She's like the lead designer of that level in Psychonauts 2. And it was just a fucking rad talk about the choices they made, because every level is a different brain you're exploring. So every brain looks differently, and this one is a brain that has synesthesia because it's been a brain in a jar. And it was just fucking rad. It was just like a really cool talk. If you don't have a ticket to Game Developer of Color Expo, it'll all eventually show up on their YouTube channel. Um, and if you do have a ticket, even if you buy a ticket for just tomorrow, you can watch all the stuff that happened today. That's my shilling plug for just a cool fucking thing that's happening. There's a bunch of cool shit happening this weekend. Waypoint's doing a thing. There's the Le Mans Drive from Loading Ready Run, which I'm actually going to check before we get to the building portion. I want to. A digital Le Mans race is happening right now, and I want to see when that ends. When does he go? Oh, he goes until tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. So that's what, hey, spoiler alert, folks. That's what we're going to raid tonight. We're going to go to Loading Ready Run and raid because Ian from Loading Ready Run has been doing 24 hours of a virtual race of Le Mans. He takes breaks. He's got he's got people swapping out. His lovely wife, Corey, is swapped out. And so, it's not 24 hours straight, but he is doing that. And that's nonsense. And I want to go hang out with them for that because it's neat. Anyway, I'm going to retweet the tweet. I'm going to get ready to build, and then we'll do some Lego building. This kit was the last of things that Aristofan picked up. It is the end of my wish list purchases for the present. So it means that the next thing that I will be doing is the Leo, which is the thing I bought. Because the Leo NPD, I was like, that would be fun to build. I like the Leo. It is Gundam Wing adjacent because it is, it is a different version of it, but the base level is things from Gundam Wing. We build things from Gundam Wing. Why not? So yeah, so I figured I'd do that. And but yeah, we already built the buggy. Oh, move this aside. Apologies. We already built the buggy, so it's time to work on the plane. I like to mix it up because the buggy and the ATV are pretty similar, so it is kind of fun to switch things up. It's a small little kit. I like these 3-in-1 so much because primarily because they're inexpensive. I mean, the more expensive Lego kits are rad. I mean, the last stream, Slowbird was in here on Thursday and was like, I know you build these small ones. What about this kit? And linked me to a $100 kit. And I was like, yeah, that's rad. I can't buy a $100 Lego kit. I would like to. I can't. I try not to put expensive Lego kits in my Amazon wish list because I'd rather folks buy expensive model kits for me to build than Lego sets. Because the expensive Lego sets are generally they're generally there because you're paying that licensing fee tax. They push the cost onto you. So usually it's like a Star Wars thing, or like not that I would want it now, but maybe a couple of years ago, I would have liked to build some Harry Potter Lego, but they haven't put new Harry Potter Lego out in a long time. So everything you can find is very expensive unless you go to a small store physically, and they didn't know that they could charge you more for those. They just had them. There's a version of Pat Baer that likes to go look at, maybe if I was in New Jersey for something, I would go and look at hobby shops to see. One, I would look for model kits to see if they just had dusty, model kits that no one had bought. And also, you look for Lego to see if they just have some stuff that was expensive at the time, but now is even more expensive. Now, obviously, I don't do that. And then also, of course, I'm not interested in picking up Harry Potter Lego because to engage in the fandom is not an endorsement of the creator, but I do have trouble. I personally do not necessarily feel that you can separate the art from the artist, particularly if the artist is still alive. It's a little different if the artist is passed on, because then there's no new material. It's just your interpretation of the material. So, like, if you want to make a Lovecraft story now, and you don't want to deal with the inherent racism in those stories, well, I guess that's your choice. I don't necessarily agree with it, but like I don't know. I don't like if you want to like do a version uh of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and you want to make sure that there is a pro Semitism feeling in there. You want to be pro Jewish in your story because he was a raging anti-Semite. Roald Dahl was. Then like yeah, I mean go for it. I think that's cool, but um, I think it's hard to separate the art from the artist in the case of J.K. Rowling, who sucks. J.K. Rowling sucks. Uh, it's hard to separate her from, uh, you know, Harry Potter. And I'm not I should make this somewhat clear. It's not certainly necessary. I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan. I wasn't old when the books came out, but I was definitely like, there's a generation that grew up with the books, and as they got bigger and a little more complex and a little darker, the younger fans had grown into it. And I think that there's something to be said for that. I didn't have that. I didn't, I think the first movie came out, and I went to go see the first movie, and I was like, oh, yeah, all right, maybe I'll read these. And then I eventually started reading them. Um, so my fandom is a little different than others who, because it's not a seminal work. I have my own piece of young adult fiction that was a seminal work that eventually became problematic and a real bummer to like. And that's Ender's Game. Yeah, 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 yeah. I got real into Ender's Game. Not as much as my friend Nick, who had Ender in his AOL screen name. My boy Nick was way more into Ender's Game than I was, but I still thought it was really cool. I thought it was really neat, and I definitely identified with Ender because he was like smarter than everybody, and he had but not smart enough to realize that he'd been manipulated. Oh, but it wasn't his fault, and he rose above it, and I definitely identified with Ender in Ender's Game. And then Orson Scott Card revealed who he was, and that was a big fucking bummer. A real fucking bummer. And that's why I've never played Shadow Complex. And I never will. Because if I had bought Shadow Complex, I would have been putting more money in Orson Scott Card's pocket. And that was not gonna happen. Because no thank you. Don't want to put money in that man's pocket. Was perfectly happy to not do that ever again. Man used his money and influence to try to make it so that folks that I literally you can talk a big thing, right? About like, oh well, people have a right to say what they want and blah blah blah. And yes. Maybe I shouldn't blah 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 there. Yes. But he legitimately used his money and influence to try to prevent California for allowing and supporting gay marriage, legal gay marriage, and Prop 8, you may remember. And I have friends that live in California who were trying to get married, so he literally was trying to prevent my friends from having their full and complete happiness. Uh, so yeah, I got beef with the man. And then his big admission was not that he changed, not that he had any sort of come to Jesus moment, if you will. Nothing. He was just like, we don't have to fight gay marriage because this is a fight we've lost. He was basically like, yeah, we lost this fight. There's no reason to continue it because when it was, Supreme Court rulings and all of that, he just gave up the fight. He didn't have a moment of acknowledging his own faults. So that's fun. But yeah, so like, separating art from an artist, I get it, but at the same time, the other example I use quite often is, sometimes you like somebody, you like an artist, you like a musician, and you find out they're a Scientologist, and you have big issues with Scientology and their condemnations of psychology, and particularly drugs in order to prescription drugs in order to uh, help people with their psychosis or other mental illnesses, and you're like, it's hard to like this person knowing that. It's very hard. Uh, I will say I can only speak about personal experience, and in general, I'm only speaking of personal experience and in shared experience with others, of course. Um, but folks that have been raised Scientologists and people that convert to Scientology feel very different. In my personal experience, folks that grew up as Scientologists or their parents converted Scientology or adopted Scientology when the kids were very young, um, treat it uh, like I treat Catholicism. It's a thing. It was there. It exists still. Mm. Like kind of. That's so. I've always seemed to notice that distinction, whereas that distinction is not necessarily true for folks that certainly that um, were just like, now I'm a Scientologist now, and you're like, what? Okay. Oh no. Anything else? You recognize something as normal because that is where you've been and what you've been doing, and then you're like, wait, this seems suspect. And then hopefully grow and change, become a better version of yourself, figure out some things. That's that kind of stuff. It's all a cycle. It's all growth. We're better than we were the day before. We'll be better even more tomorrow. We're going to grow and you're going to change. You're going to figure some stuff out. Maybe you're going to turn the corner on some things. Um, Very unrelated to what I was just talking about. Right before the stream started, somebody renewed their subscription. Now, if you want to, click that button so you're notified. I can hit the applause on my soundboard, and thank you for doing it. You're under no obligation to do that, of course. Thank you to whoever renewed their subscription. Perhaps they did it, and they did not stay for the stream. That is also totally okay. But perhaps they did. I do not know. But that was nice, and I appreciate it. Always appreciate when people renew their subscriptions. Maybe they convert their guest sub into a regular old sub, their gift sub, I should say, not guest, or whatever. Or they, are new to the stream and they have their Twitch or their Prime token, and they want to sign the fuck up. That's also rad. Always appreciate it. Again, I understand that is just changing the subject, but it was a thing I noticed, and I forgot to mention it, and I wanted to. I feel a little rambly tonight, tonight. We'll say tonight. It's a little warm in this room because it has been unseasonably cool here in South Carolina. So much so that we don't have the air conditioning on, and instead, oh boy, we are just have the windows open, and there was a really nice breeze, but I have the door closed so that I am not impeding and that I'm not letting new sound in. It's a suburb, so I'm not expecting a lot of loud noises at 9 o'clock, on a Saturday to come through the open window door. But yeah, it has gotten a little hotter in here than it was earlier in the day. It was a really nice breeze. It's been reported that this will not last that long and that it will get humid again. But right now, feeling pretty great. Appreciating it. Exercise today. Not a puddle of sweat when I was done because the humidity's down. That was really nice. I might try to go for a walk tomorrow, depending on how wet it is because we've had some rain. But yeah, overall, pleasant. It has been pretty pleasant. I know that parts of this state got a lot of rain. We got some rain. Some got flooding. That sucks. So that was a bummer. But overall, it has been pretty nice weather. And I've appreciated that. Yeah, it's a little, apparently in the spring down here, it's similar temperature, but there's a lot of pollen, so you can't have the windows open because you will just let in all this pollen in, and it's like a lot. And that's going to be real bad for me because I have allergies to pollen and grass. When I mow the lawn down here, in my effort to help keep things going, and as a show of thanks, I um, I often wear a mask, not a fabric mask, a breathing mask with little holes in there, not particular for that, but a different kind of mask, uh, just so that I can breathe a little better, and then also hopefully not be ill. Speaking of helping out, talk about I've talked about this recipe before, and it turned out great. Cream of mushroom soup, y'all. Cream of mushroom soup. Um, some chicken breast, a little bit of uh, soup, the onion soup mix. You know, you're not going to make the soup. You're not going to get the sour. Or you're not going to make the mix. You're not going to get the sour cream. You just put that in there, and then potatoes, a vegetable if you want to put that in there. You don't have to. In the slow cooker, and then cook it low and slow for uh, it is so nice. It just like the nice thing about cooking it low and slow in a slow cooker is you really breaks this stuff down. You don't need a lot of the onion mix to put in there, and then you cream with mushroom because it's going to get salty. But then you just use a fork to break it apart. Ooh, that was good. It was so good and nice because you're doing a slow cooker. You got yourself some gravy there to pour on your potatoes. Excellente. Lastbrick says, I hadn't thought of it, but I have never been having to keep the windows open to air out paint fumes. Wonder if that's why I feel so bad. Yeah, Lashbrook. I'm not yelling, but yeah. Ventilating when you are painting, spray paint or even just regular cracking open a paint can or a paint bottle, as the case may be. Yeah, man, you gotta air that out. You gotta get some air circulating. You want to crack a window, open a window wide, try to open a door, get a cross breeze going. Yeah, you're probably breathing in those fumes. So yeah, if you don't have a fan, an exhaust fan, because some people do that, which I think is cool, or especially people that have like work, storage room, not storage rooms, like shops. They have they convert your garage into a workshop, and they have exhaust fans they turn on over when they're doing painting, to suck up all the fumes. Uh, and also that helps for like dust. Oh, you're not painting. They're renovating another apartment, and it apparently feeds into my AC. Oh, Lashbrook. Okay, yeah, I mean, if they're painting another thing and it's coming in, yeah, that definitely can happen. I worked briefly in an office that they were painting down the same floor, and they were painting, and we had to open every window because like a bunch of us didn't notice, and then someone came in after lunch and was just like, "Hey, um, there are paint. I smell paint fumes. What's happening?" And we were like, "Oh shit, we didn't notice." And we had to open all the windows because it had happened while we were working, and we just didn't notice that it was happening because it was a slow process of our room, the big room filling up with paint fumes. But yeah, take a look, see what's up, find out what's going on. Welcome. We got a few more folks joining us. If you're a subscriber, feel free to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, or the Scythe emote if you're a tier 2. Tier 2s, hey, this is a weird thing. The lovely folks that are tier 2 subscribers don't watch me live, and it's weird. So, like, I'm the only one that ever uses. I basically said if one person became a tier 2, that I would get a tier 2 emote. And now there are like 3 people to do it, which is fucking rad, but they don't watch regularly, so the Scythe emote is just kind of for me, which is fun. If someone ever became a tier 3, I would get a new emote. So then what happens is I would get 2 emotes, So I would get a tier 3 emote that was brand new, and then I don't know, maybe I would make this maybe, eventually I think I can have 3 emotes for everybody now. Eventually I would make the site emote open to people. But I actually don't know what my next emote would be. That's the weird thing. Because, like, the Bear Cave made a lot of sense. Lego Pat felt like it made a lot of sense. Minifig Pat made a lot of sense. And the Death Site seemed like it made a lot of sense. So I could do another, like, logo, like the Bear Cave, which I could. I could do another, like, Lego thing, like a Lego brick. Um, Somebody suggested that I just do an emote that is the soundboard, like just do like the word bubble thing. But I don't know. Like I don't know if I should do is it hubristic? Is it the most hubris thing in the world? Hubris might not be a word. Is it a ridiculous thing? The idea of me doing a third emote that is me, some variation of me. Like I feel like that's maybe too much. But I also kind of want to do like Super Saiyan Pat. That's like the idea that I had was to do like me going Super Saiyan. Um, because Dragon Ball we haven't done a Dragon Ball model kit, action figure model kit, but we have one coming in October that we pre-ordered because we've done so many of them. But I did so many and I really enjoy building them. So I was like, I kind of like the idea of like Super Saiyan Pat. So like, I don't know. I don't know if I would though. That was a thought. I was like, maybe I would do that. Maybe that would be cool. I don't know. If you got any thoughts, if you think there should be what my next emote would be, let me know in the comments. I'm in no rush to do it, but I do want to do one at some point. And then by comments, I mean the chat. Because there are folks watching this later after the stream. Hey, folks watching this later after the stream. Hope you're all doing well. But they're watching the VOD or they're watching on YouTube. Got a few of YouTube folks, few of you folks that watch the VODs. Welcome to y'all, and of course live people watching it live. Hello. Working on a plane right now, a little single engine plane. Putting together the cockpit. These kits, no minifigs for these 3-in-1s. The Monster Burger truck had some of the bigger 3-in-1s, like the Monster Burger truck. They will have a minifig, but these smaller ones usually they're not designed to have people in them, so that's not their thing. What was I gonna say? I talked a little bit. I'll talk a little bit more, I think, because I think it'll be fun. About my Lego project. So this is in a bit. This is not a thing that I'm going to do, very soon, but I do plan on doing in the future. I had the idea of taking all the Lego I've had since I've moved here, because I have a bunch of Lego since I moved here that I have been saving in a big old bag. And I thought, what if I did an original Lego build, like a custom Lego build? Took everything I had, put it all out, knolled it all, and really looked at it and tried to figure out what can I build with this. And here's the thing. We're a model kit building stream, right? Because we just, look, folks, half an hour in, we done did it. We done built a biplane. Or not, yeah, single engine plane. We done built a plane. So I'm going to take a photo of it. Then I'm going to break it apart, I should say. But I've been thinking I'm going to build myself a robot. I want to build a big mech out of the Legos I have. And the criteria I thought of right now is I would like it to have the ability to have a minifig sit in either the head or the chest to pilot it. I would like it to have wheels on the legs so that it can move around, have some sort of backpack, and I don't know if there's anything else that's like a must-have for that. Uh, but those are the things that I thought of. Like, all right, well, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna build a my own custom Lego set. These are the things I would like to have. Maybe it would have some wings, in the backpack for flight. But yeah, I mean, it would be like a classic-ish mech design, and I think that would be really neat. But I would also, give it up to folks that were in the chat as I was building, what their thoughts were. People could give me, ideas or inspiration, or let me know like that doesn't look right. Oh, that looks neat. That kind of stuff. Feedback as we go. But I definitely wanted to have wheels and move around. Luckily, I've built quite a few Lego sets here that have wheels, including this one. So I've got quite a few wheels to kind of make that work. And then figuring out like if there's a gimmick. Got any parts that can make a beam scythe? Last brick, unfortunately, I don't think I do. I think I could definitely make a pole of like I could make something with like things like this stacked together. So I could probably make a beam saber, like a lightsaber-ish looking thing. So I think I could do that, but I don't believe I could get the curve in. I don't think that I have the right pieces for that, unfortunately. So that is a shame, right? That is a big shame. But yeah, I mean, I've got pieces that look like they're control, keyboards and monitors. So that looks cool. There's some cockpit parts from some different things. I do have one other Lego set that we haven't built yet, and I am thinking I should do that before we build. I'm going to cough. Pardon me. I do have the shuttle transporter here, so I am thinking it would probably need to build that before we incorporate before we start this project. Just because there's a lot of cool parts that would be helpful, including plenty of wheels and some long. I think I'm going to need some long pieces, and then of course more wing stuff and maybe some rockets that would be good for whatever we end up building. Right now, since we finished the plane, I am knolling everything so that I can easily find the pieces I need to work on our ATV, which is our final build for this very cute little kit. But now I'm going to. I'm just trying to get the pieces off I can get off without it being an issue. Just using my hands, and then I will use the brick separator to separate bricks. Weird, I know. But yeah, I've been thinking that could be a very fun little build to work on. Just something kind of freeform, because I've been asked that now and again. Like, well, would you do that? Have you done that on stream? And I haven't. I haven't done a freeform build, so it would be kind of neat to do that, I think. Yeah. I think that would be pretty cool. Speaking of pretty cool, this coming Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern will be a live episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club. I am going to be doing, I've done this once before where I streamed. I'm going to be doing my end of season wrap up and my preview of the fall 2020 anime season. So I'll be looking ahead at things that are coming out, while at the same time looking at the season that we just had and talking about the shows that I liked and the shows that I didn't watch. I'm going to try to do those a little bit more often. Because obviously the last live one we did was the last episode, which was the PAX panel, which was not, it was live to tape, but doing that every now and again when the timing kind of works out. Just doing it as a stream so that I can get feedback from people and I have a little bit of audience as I do it. And that way I'm not just playing like Hearthstone every other week and it's like Hearthstone and then a Pokemon thing and then Hearthstone and then Twitch things and then Hearthstone and then like I don't know what else. I think that then back to Hearthstone again. So I'm trying to mix it up a little bit here and there. I am going to go back to Pokemon Emerald where we left off because that was fun. That random run was pretty. It was remarkable how many legendary and cool ass Pokemon we just found in like pretty early on. But I would like to beat a gym leader with that crew. I would probably off stream like level up without like catching anything else, just going in and kind of power leveling a few things because that can be a little boring. But I think it would be neat to see how I could do with that. So I think that's definitely a future stream. But yeah, I want to mix things up. So I'm going to do my end of summer season, wrap up. Now, eagle-eyed, pay your attentioners. I said the wrong thing and I tried to cover and it didn't work. Folks that have been paying attention to the current anime season will know when I record on Wednesday, some shows won't be done. There will be a few shows that will still have their 13th episode that will not have aired. So it will be somewhat of an incomplete thing. But I can kind of judge it. Like, yeah, I'll talk about it, but yeah, I'm liking Food Wars a little bit more towards the end of the season than I was in the middle of it. But not seeing the finale of it isn't really going to change my mind. I'm interested in finding out what happens at the last episode next Saturday of Misfit of Demon King Academy because I will admit did not see the twist coming. This twist that we got at the end of this episode was I kind of predicted part of it, but not all of it. I was wrong. So I'm interested in see that, but I think I can judge the season not having seen the last episode. I think that's okay. So yes, I'm going to do that, and I think that'll work out okay. Just do the season thing. I think that'll work out fine. And then I'm gonna try, and then I'll talk about like some of the shows. Y'all, next season's just gonna be October. When October comes, it's just gonna be like I might have to start the top of the stream talking about anime because there are gonna be streams where I'll have watched like a bunch of stuff since the previous one. I gotta start finding out. Like you don't know. Sometimes you know, but you don't always know what day things are gonna be out until we get closer. And so I gotta start figuring out my schedule and everything that I'm gonna watch because, oh boy, there's a lot of fucking anime coming out this next season. I can do the old. I can go over to Annie chart and check out the fall season. I mean, because some of it is. Well, some of that stuff is like the holdover from previous seasons. Like what am I trying to say? Some of it is this was supposed to be out last season, but because a bunch of things got posted to this season, these things got pushed to this one. So like, there's just like a lot of anime coming out that I'm interested in. Some of the stuff I might drop pretty fast because it might not be interesting or I might not like the art style. Like this season, I only dropped 2 things, and one of them is just a temporary drop. I'm going to pick it back up, and the other I'm definitely not going back to. But yeah, 100 Man, I'll probably watch that because it's an isekai that seems kind of interesting. Which one is that? I mean, I'm probably gonna watch Adachi and Shimaru, Shimamaru, because that seems like it's a fun gay drama that seems kind of neat. I'll at least check that out. By the grace of the gods, it is a isekai, but it is definitely a slice of life isekai, and I fucking love those. I'm definitely gonna watch that. Not gonna watch that. Not gonna watch that. So I have heard that Dropout Idol Fruit Tart is actually a very fun manga, but I don't generally like the. mean, it's a music slice of life about idols, so I'm like, meh, I don't know. I don't know. Haikyuu, more Haikyuu's coming. Hell yeah, I'm gonna watch more Haikyuu. Some folks will watch the third season of Golden Kamuy, but I won't because I don't really like it. But that's okay. I'm not gonna watch Shigarashi. That's for you. Uh, I listened to the opening song from Hypnosis Mike Division rap battle, uh, and their rapping wasn't terrible, so I might give it a shot. Uh, it's basically weapons got destroyed, and now people fight each other with microphones in rap battles. And all the main four guys who used to be in a crew together went their own separate ways. And yeah, the opening is them rapping, and at least one of them had some really good flow. And there was another one that had like, it was sounded okay, but generally that's embarrassing as shit. So I was like, I don't know about that one. More, is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? A weird girl showed up at the end of the last season, very end of it, and I was like, okay. Um, I mean, I'm gonna look. You don't have to wonder. Am I gonna at least check out the sports comedy drama anime about the girls climbing club, sports climbing? Yeah, the wall climbing club. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Maybe it'll be bad, but I'm gonna check it out, and I'll drop it if it's bad. Um, Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm at least gonna give a shot because I've heard really good things about that manga for a very long time. It's got finally got an adaptation. It seems pretty neat. Uh, let's see. Uh, I don't know if I'm gonna watch Kamishama ni Nati Hi. It hasn't gotten a name yet, which means I don't know if anyone picked it up. So I might not watch it anyway if no one picked it up. But it's Aniplex is putting it out, so I guess somebody will have their. But it's the person that is behind Angel Beats and Charlotte, and it's about somebody who's professed them. A girl professes herself to be a god. Uh, I don't know. It's like a drama and a fantasy drama, and I'm like, maybe I'll watch that. I don't know. King's Raid. Uh, I don't know. I might watch it. It's an action fantasy show. You know I'm gonna watch Kuma 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 Bear, which is a adventure isekai, a virtual MMO isekai, uh, about fun, cute girl who has her weapons are basically boxing gloves that look like stuffed bears. You know I'm gonna watch that. Of course, you know I'm gonna watch that. I'm not going to watch the new Love Live because I don't want to. As I said, I'm not super into the idol shows. Uh, no, it's the same thing. Uh, it's another slice of life, but that doesn't seem like something I want to watch. Uh, no, that doesn't seem like something I'm going to watch. There's a show based on an RPG. Oh, there's like a magic thing that seems kind of neat. There's a couple ones. There's a kind of cute comedy slice of life about a princess that gets captured and she's real lazy and she doesn't kind of mind being captured because it means she can rest. And I'm like, that seems kind of fun. Uh, oof. Definitely not going to watch the drama horror psychological Muno no Nana, uh, which is the talented that have to face the enemy of humanity, in quotes. No thanks. Noblesse. I like. I liked the like a few years ago. Noblesse put out a pretty cool um, OVA of the first couple episodes that made me interested in it. vampire wakes up in modern times. That sounds great. Into that idea. I'm not going to watch Our Last Crusade or The Rise of a New World. That's just that doesn't seem good. Uh, the Pillars. Probably not going to watch that. I'm going to watch The Irregular Magic School, second season of that. I'm going to watch that. Is that coming to... Ooh. Oh, yeah, that's right. So Funimation is getting that. I don't know if Crunchyroll is, but Funimation is. Funimation a while ago got the, like, suddenly also had the first season and was doing a dub of it. And I thought that meant that they were probably both going to get it, but maybe Crunchyroll also will. I do like it when both get it because it means more people can watch, but it also means I can watch it on Crunchyroll because I prefer Crunchyroll's player to Funimation's player. No, I'm not gonna watch that. I might this. So here's like my shirts. Like I might watch this later show. There's like a couple shows that are like that. This one is Over the Moon for You. It's like a couple that like met, and he was like, "Do you want to date?" And she was like, "Let's get married first." And now it's their married life, and it seems cute. If it's full length, I don't know. Also, it's listed as sci-fi, and I don't know why it's listed as it's listed as comedy, romance, sci-fi, and slice of life, and I don't know why. And I'm like, maybe I'll check that out. But like, I'm still like going through. We also have the new the spin-off of Inuyasha, Yashahime, Princess Half Demon. I'm gonna fucking watch that shit. That's gonna rule. And then of course I'm not gonna watch the Moriarty one. Doesn't look like there's any short seasons that I'm gonna watch. I don't think this will get picked up because why would it? But if with a dog and a cat every day is fun, if that gets picked up, I'll watch it because that's just a great name for a show and a great premise for a show. It's a dog and a cat who are friends and get into mischief. Yeah, it just seems like a fun anime. And I'm like, that's a short series. If that gets picked up, I will fucking watch it. Uh, and then, like, yeah, there's other stuff that I'll pick up. Oh, Burn the Witch. Burn the Witch is a movie. Okay. I didn't know that was a movie. There's a new date bullet. And, of course, pretty soon we will be getting the Demon Slayer movie, and that's going to rule ass. Hello, welcome. I'm building Lego. Hope you're doing well. I'm building Lego and looking at the next season of anime and seeing if there's things I want to watch. Oh, is there a new Grisaya? Huh. I might watch that. I don't know if I will. Well, there's a bunch of movies. It's always good to look at the movies, but, you know, a lot of them we don't get, so I don't pay attention to them too much. And then there must be, at some point, there is a new... When does that last episode of... Reincarnated as Slime. When does that one? Reincarnated... That time I got reincarnated as Slime. When does that last OVA come out? I'm going to check. Because I know the second season, you know, everything got pushed back. So, let's see. Tell me. List of episodes. Got it. OVA 5 comes out in November. That is a ways from now. But luckily, the OVAs get picked up by Crunchyroll. So, or I should call them OADs because they're not OVAs, they're OADs because they They come out on a Blu-ray that you or a DVD that you get with the manga to encourage people to buy all the dang manga. So I guess we got that. Elastic came here when you're building something. I followed you when you rated some stream I was watching and talked Lego. Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't. It could be any stream that I rated because uh, I try to. I don't often rate builders. I generally I try to rate at the end of the stream somebody on the West Coast that will hopefully go for a little while because I'm on the East Coast. But I end at 11 p.m. Eastern, so I try to pick somebody. But yeah, that could have been Kate or Ben or Joel or yeah, I don't know, a bunch of different folks. I try to just pick people that are going to be streaming for a bit. Mary, lots of different folks. Uh, I've got my go-tos that do it. But yeah, welcome. It's pretty chill for us for a Saturday, I'll say. Generally, there's a few more folks here. The chat is usually a little bit more active. But tonight just seems pretty low-key, and that's okay. I'm never super bummed about that. Of course, I do like it when there's a lot of people hanging out and watching the streams. But it's okay if tonight is a little chill. Every now and again, that's okay. I just have to work a little harder on these streams. To keep conversation going. Of course, in the second hour, which will be coming up in a little bit, I will be talking about the shows that I watched, kind of briefly, just like summarizing the 3 anime shows I watched since the last stream, which was on Thursday, because that's a nice little thing for me to be able to talk about every week or every stream. I took a break from Fire Force. I'm going to go back to it in the brief period we have here at the end of September before all the new anime starts, because they finished the arc that I kind of like, and I wasn't looking forward to the next arc in Fire Force because I know it's coming up a little bit, and I was just not feeling it, so I didn't keep watching it. But I will go back to it because I will need things to watch now that a bunch of my shows are ending. Donkfail says, I'm in Sweden, so it's 4 in the morning here. Yeah, I have a few folks in your part of the woods that come in now and again. Yeah, I don't stream at a time that's convenient for folks in other parts of the world. I make it kind of inconvenient for folks on the east or the west coast of the United States here because I stream from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., which is 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. for them. So that's a little rough because it's a little early. People might still be doing stuff. Lashbrook says, I think I've fallen off hard enough. I'm not going to bother going back. So Lashbrook, I will say this. Speaking of Fire Force, first part of the arc this season, not interested. Wasn't interested in that girl and protecting her, and the fact that she was clearly, it was not going to work out. But once that ended and they went to the Chinese peninsula, that shit is pretty cool. Are there talking animals? Yes. Is there some plot stuff that's actually interesting and some investigations in the previous stuff? Yes. Is there a support character in there that I really like who you don't get to see a lot, but now you do in this arc, named Juggernaut, the guy that is a tiny person that wears a big suit and shoots fire missiles. Yeah, Juggernaut's in there, and so that's fun. Also, they didn't do a terrible job with the character that got introduced that season. It's not Odin. I forget his name. But they Ogun. They didn't do a bad job with Ogun, which is a pleasant surprise. So I think the second portion of this, it's a double length, was pretty good. But now they wrap that up, and I wasn't super interested in seeing it. But I will, as I said, this Tuesday is the last Diary of Our Days at the Breakwater. This Wednesday is the last Decadence. This Friday is the last Food Wars. This Saturday is the last the Misfit of Demon King Academy. Also this Friday is the last Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out. And Ninja Collection goes for longer. And this Monday is the last God of High School. So a lot of my shows are ending, so I am going to have a little bit of time before new stuff starts. And I will. There are two things I'm going to do. I'm going to get caught up on Fire Force. And I guess I'm going to go back to Gabate, which I fell off of because it just wasn't. There was just a day where I was like, it was a Thursday, and I hadn't watched the episode from Wednesday, and it was time. It was getting ready for the stream, and I'm like, well, if I want to talk about this tonight, I gotta watch this now. And I was like, you know what? What if I didn't? Sorry, 1 second, folks. Sorry, I had a scratch there. And then I just didn't watch it, and so now I'm like, I guess I can go back to that. The art, if I'm watching all in a row, maybe I want to finish that story. There was a character that hadn't been introduced yet that was in the open animation that looked cool as shit, and I'm like, well, maybe I want to see her get introduced, and maybe they'll explain why the time travel thing is a thing. That might be fun. Maybe they'll explain the time travel. I don't think they will. So, because we don't have a huge amount of folks watching the stream, I'm not going to go super into my pause for the cause thing. I'm going to do a smaller pause for the cause. I'm going to link some videos I think you should check out. You're in no obligation to do that. We'll probably do more of that on Monday. But because we don't have a lot of folks here tonight, this is Pat Baer's Anime Club. This was the PAX online panel I did. If you missed it, that was last Sunday. I did an online, was part of PAX. The online version, and I did a thing with Corey Dickinson and Beej Derry from Learning Ready Run, and we talked about anime and recommended anime. Because that stream had to be like 55 to 58 minutes, I recorded too much footage, and so I kept the bonus stuff, the stuff we cut, and I have the bonus footage. That's on my YouTube. And then Baering the List is an ongoing ranking series. This week it happened to be anime, but it's always different things that I rank. If you missed that one from Wednesday, I ranked the hairstyles of Frankie from One Piece, my least favorite Straw Hat Pirate, and I figured, well, I might as well give him a little bit of love since I've been rude to him. But those are just some links. Subscribe if you want. You don't have to. Gift a sub if you'd like. Bits and coins always appreciated. Continue subscribing if you want. Blah, blah, blah. That's all I want to say about that. Yeah. And then we'll just, we'll finish this up. And I'm going to talk about some anime for the past couple days. And I'll try to, just kind of give you an overview. This was for... So all of these episodes that I'm going to talk about here were the second to last episode. So everything is happening, and they're getting ready to ramp up. This was a weird episode of Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out, probably because the previous episode wasn't part of the manga. It was created solely for the anime, and it was just an ad for that city in Japan, or that region of Japan, where the creator of Detective Conan grew up. Tottori. It's not. Yeah, Tottori. It's not Totoro. It's Tottori. So they had to put that episode in a 12 episode. So this one felt really disjointed. This was not a cohesive story. This was a bunch of mini things that happened. There was Hana leaves all her stuff at Shinichi's place when they hang out. Then they go to work, and he's trying to do food prep, and Shinichi is bad at it, and Hana makes fun of her. So he's going to get lessons on how to make something, some udon, and Hana's mom helps him out. There is a funny little bit in this episode where more than once he's called a himbo, and he's like, yeah, I get that a lot. which was kind of modern and fun. It's probably wasn't himbo in the manga. Maybe it was, but whatever the case, that was a fun choice. Um, and then Hana's mom has some ideas about things. She hears things wrong. It's that thing of like one thing isn't sexual innuendo, but you hear it as sexual innuendo. That's happening here again. It's not my favorite part of it. It's my least favorite. It's probably my least favorite thing in the show. Uh, I really disagree with him being a himbo. Yeah, Lashbrook, he's not a himbo. If anything, he's. I've said this before. Yeah, he's just a mean guy with that. He's a mean looking guy. He's not mean. He's got mean mug, or as I have called it, and people seem to like the term, resting bastard face, where you look like you're a dangerous person, but you're not. But yeah, he's just got the resting bastard face. But yeah, there's a whole thing of it being mistaken there, and that's weird, and I didn't enjoy that part of the episode. Uh, then they go rock climbing, indoor rock climbing. This episode just moving around. He's really good at it, and it's kind of fun because it is building off of that, like when they went to the beach the first time and he like missed swimming, and it's him being like physically competitive. Uh, and that's kind of fun because even though she's not in shape for it, she recognizes that he's having a really good time, and it's showing her being a supportive friend. It's a nice little bit of business, and I appreciate that. And then we jump into forward in time, and because this thing just keeps going, we're at a karaoke place, a room karaoke, and Shinichi is about to sing a song by himself because folks that are embarrassed about there's a whole monologue thing that's done by a voice that we've never seen before. This show occasionally does that. Like there was an episode that was like uh that the owner of the restaurant or the cafe like said what was going to happen in the episode and like kind of like hosted it, which has only happened once. There was a crazy monologue that she gave about like Choco Mint that happened that was really out there for the show. And this episode has the out there moment of another character talking about solo karaoke and how people who are embarrassed to be seen by others and find out they can't sing go by themselves, and it's a noble, sad thing. Uh, and the joke of this one is that Shinichi is about to sing the theme song of the show that he is in. And he doesn't get to sing it. We don't get him singing it, but he almost sings the show's theme song, which is I was just like pleasantly surprised about. I thought that was like a really fun idea. All right, I got to take a photo. We're done. We are done with our Lego build. We finished this little thing. We're going to move on to a model kit build in just a minute, but I do want to take a photo of this for posterity, for photos. But I got to take a photo of this because we're done. And then we will I got my big bag of Lego. I'll take care of this kit later, but I'll put everything else in there now. Anyway, we don't get to sing. And then there's a whole thing where Hana and Ami have been drinking. So they caught him, and then they're like, hey, let us hang out with you. And he's like, I don't like this. And then Ami is like, well, we'll dress in some cosplay they have here. Which, look, I've never been to a room karaoke in Japan. So I don't know if they have just costumes you can borrow there. But that seemed very far-fetched and nonsense. There's no singing. We don't get any of the characters singing, which is also weird because the voice actress for Hana sings the theme song of the show. So you would think they would just have her do that again, but they don't do that because they don't have time for that. There's an awkwardness of like them dressed in Chinese dresses with their hair up, and then there's a thing where there's a cop and a bunny girl, and Shinichi accidentally admits that he likes the bunny girl outfit, and it's awkward. But then You think the episode's over, but it's fucking not over, y'all. It's not over. Because at the very end of the episode, bum bum bum, Hana shows up and it's raining and she's crying and she says, I can't hang out with you anymore. And that's the cliffhanger before the last episode. And this episode was all over the place, and it was very clear that they lost somewhere along the line. Along the way, they realized that they were going to have to do that episode 10 was going to have to be was a paid promotional ad for a town, and they were going to have to really like figure out how to tell their story faster, because it was a lot of shit. I was real surprised this show. That show had a plot twist. Yeah, plot twist, y'all. Now, it could be that it's a swerve and she's not crying, but I do think that my prediction is that, like, the father character we haven't been introduced. We know she has a father. Maybe Hana's father is like, what, you hang out with a boy? I don't know. Get out of here. Or maybe he's like, this guy who's my daughter's seeing is also trying to hit on my wife. I don't know. I mean, who knows? But I assume that maybe it's that. Maybe that's the plot twist. I don't know. I don't know if there is really a plot twist. I feel like there is. But it's all over the place. All right, we got to move on to model kit stuff. We're going to move on to model kit. I'm going to talk about more anime. We've got a model kit here to build. Let's switch over to this. Look, here we go. Look, it's the Leo. We're looking on the Leo non-player diver, so it's just a grunt character. But we can get started on this while I tell you about the 12th of the 13th episode of Food Wars. We got one more episode after this one. I fucking called it, y'all. Shot called. Shot called. Now, a couple episodes ago, I made a bunch of predictions about this show, and they came true. One, the bookkeeper, the bookmaster of this tournament, the person that created this blue tournament and changed all the rules, I predicted that was Erina's mom. It is Erina's mom. I had predicted that it was going to be Soma and Asai in the semifinals, and that Soma was going to win the semifinals to face Erina in the finals. That happened. It happened in this episode. And then I made some other predictions that I'll talk about as they... some of them haven't happened yet, but one more did happen in this episode that I thought was going to happen, did happen, which goes to show, look, I might be pretty good at that, but this show has just had a very bad last season. So, Mana, Erina's mom, says that Asai is just using other chefs' techniques and he has no style of his own and he doesn't put himself into the dishes. Soma doesn't steal other people's stuff. He incorporates it because he has learned from them and grown because of them. So even though he does mash a bunch of stuff together, he is doing it from a place of, oh, like, this is incredible. Oh, this will be interesting. Oh, I can do this with this. He's not just, like, stealing the ways that they're doing it. So that's kind of interesting. Also, what I predicted was going to happen. You are live from the Bear Cave. Welcome. Rained, welcome to the Bear Cave. We just finished up a Lego set, and we're starting a new high-grade model kit, Gundam high-grade model kit. This is the Leo. So yeah, we just started, literally just started it. I'm putting the first together. And I'm talking about some anime that I watched in the past couple of days. In particular, I'm talking about the 12th episode of the 5th season of Food Wars. And how I've been predicting things, and my predictions have all been accurate. So Soma wins that round, and then Asai realizes that, oh, I think I've been chasing what my teacher, Soma's dad, had. So he leaves, and some Noir follow him. Then we have a kind of nice scene between Erina's parents and how they got together. Have not seen Food Wars, but I have heard good things. So here's the thing about Food Wars. One, this last season isn't that great. Two, it is one of the horniest shows I've ever seen in my life. Basically, food horny is the thing. It's food porn. And now, generally, when we talk about food porn, we mean like, oh, check out this prepared dish. Look at this close up of this food. Aren't you jealous? Aren't you envious of food? No, this one is just like, hey, sometimes food makes your clothes come off. And you have wild fantasies of things. And it's a very horny show. And sometimes that's great. And sometimes it is fun and great. And sometimes it's weird and I'm like, no, I don't like that. I do think I like the show. The problem with the show is I love all the characters. Even if I think that sometimes it is presented in a way that is a bummer and weird, I still think the characters are rad as hell. And I'm a big fan. One of the supporting characters, Megumi in particular, I just think is a great, wonderful character. So I'm going to tell you right now, folks. I predicted that Erina was actually related to Saeed, the villain of this thing, because he looked so much like um, Azami, Erina's father. They're apparently it's not they're not full blooded, but they're like half sister and brother. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. And yeah, I called it. That's nonsense. It's implied that he's his son. Uh, and we get a montage. We get a really nice long montage of Erina and Soma. And maybe this fight isn't really about who's gonna win blue for Soma. It's more about like finally beating her, like making her say that the dish he prepared is delicious. Uh, then we get some real pretty neat, I guess, backstory, like explanation of a thing that's been happening. So this whole series, everything that's been happening, the generation of prodigies, this whole thing, all these students that have been in the school that are wild and different and interesting, that are challenging and unique, they were all brought here by Erina's grandfather and Erina's uncle in an attempt to save her from the curse of the god tongue that she possesses. All of this was to at least save her from like being so critical of food by having this ability to really understand food better than anyone else that it would uh, that it becomes a thing where you can't eat and enjoy food anymore, and that happened to her mom, and it's preventing it from happening to her. Uh, which is kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. Like even Soma is there because of this. Like it is a whole thing. This was all kind of set up, and that's kind of neat. Um, that why that happened and why all these people got recruited was for that. That's kind of fun. Um, but yeah. It ends with Soma trying to like get her in the game. Do you see that new Gundam robot that's being built? Yes, I did see that. I do like it when people try to make giant, big old versions of mobile suits at either as statues or as real robots, but probably safer to be a statue. I do appreciate that. That is some good nonsense that I am on board with. I think that's great. So the episode ends. My prediction for the final episode, which is next week, is that he's going to make an egg dish. She may or may not say it's delicious. She probably won't, because you want to find out someday she will. She's going to win, make something that her mom likes. They're going to be a happy family, maybe even bring him in, Asai, back. We're maybe going to find out what happened last episode where Rio and Akira, were going to go do something, and they, jumped onto a boat, and there was no explanation of what that was in this episode. So maybe we're going to get that explained. And then maybe there'll be a montage of them cooking in their professional lives, and maybe it'll be hinted that they get together. I don't know. Horny food show stuff may not be my kink, but I see nothing wrong with it. Food is sexy. Yeah. Look, here's the thing. Like I said, I really like the characters in the show. I have a bit of an issue with it. Just sometimes it is way too much. It's way too over the top as a show, and so sometimes I feel like, all right, well, I didn't. Okay, let's just fucking calm down for a second. Anime, can we just fucking relax here for just like 1 second, please? Um, how about we just chill out? All right, so okay, so we have to make a decision here. I got to see the RX-78 last time I was in Japan. I can't wait to go back once we can all travel again. Hell yeah! All right, so there are three heads here that we. Well, sorry, there are four heads here, and no, that's three. That's right, right? Yes, that's the three. Right, no, that's yeah. There are four heads here. Sorry, and three of them have colors that we could put on here. So we have four heads, and we can put one color on each one. So we're going to do one of each color. And I kind of have to just decide what I'm going to put on there. I think a big circular eye would be good green. And then a little bit of an eye that's a bar, maybe blue because it's striking, and then a face yellow. I think that's what it's going to be. So basically, E3 is this one. So, and then one of these eyes doesn't, or one of these heads doesn't have any colors on it at all. It's just a plain old thing. But I think if this one is blue, that'll pop. Teal, and then yeah, so I'll do that, and then the whole face one will be this yellow because that's a big color, and then a big. If I'm going to make one of them a circular eye, I want it to be a big red eye. I think that's the way to go. But yeah, and there are different ways of doing the shoulders. You can do different shoulders on here. And of course, when this is all done, we will do photos of all the different designs. And also, so I decided to do blue because these are. Yeah, I think the yellow. If I did the yellow of this color of this design, it wouldn't pop enough. But I think this will. And then you're not spamming. Don't worry about it. I don't do any painting. No. So I do. I primarily I'm here as a builder. I do occasionally. I do a lot of the regular stickers like we're doing here, and then I do water transfers or dry transfers on occasion. We recently did a kit this week, the GM Guard Custom, where I worked. I added a lot of the water transfers because they said 69 on them, and I wanted to put that on I wanted to put them on that Gundam or mobile suit I should say, because of the GM Guard. I was like, well, I'm gonna do that. Like, I'm not gonna not do that. So I did that. So I did, and that was fun. But yeah, it was like CV69. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Do I have that? I think I have that. Yeah. Like, I actually happen to have that. Like, I'm gonna do that, right? Like, this is a transfer. I'm gonna transfer that. I didn't do all of them. I didn't do like all the little red dots. Like, I didn't go through all the many that were on there. But like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put that on the shield. It comes with them. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't do a lot of painting. I don't have necessarily the patience for it, my own, or the drive to do it. I also am not that skilled of a painter. I would definitely get better. I mean, I also wasn't really a person that was super into doing stickers here, especially transfer stickers. But I've gotten more into it. Just the essentials. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Just the important stuff. Oops, I gotta. That did not turn out how I would like. So let's try to pop this piece out. Or can I pull this down? Nope. All right. Put the sticker on too high, so now I'm going to try to lower it down. The nice thing is if I mess up any of these stickers, we do have 3 of them, so I'll just change it to a different color and then change the other one to a different, so that way we mix the colors up. But I think this will be okay if I do it like this. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Yeah, that'll be all right. I'm still not excellent when it comes to stickers. I am okay when it comes to stickers. All right, so that's one of our heads. We got 3 heads here. Um, so yeah, we got that option. Of a head. Let's do the. Let's try to get all our stickers done. We'll get all the sticker work we gotta do done here. For now anyway. Most of the water transfers for Warhammer, I'm not a huge fan of, or might just be bad. So, like, here's the real thing: water transfers definitely have like a lifespan. Like, if you're buying old stuff, if you're buying really modern, it should be okay. If you're buying older stuff, it can be bad. It sometimes can be very difficult to do. Um, but I do think they look great if you're doing it. But also, like, yeah, it takes a lot of practice. You gotta work hard to get it. You're not gonna nail it right away. Oh, I do want to talk about the last show I watched, episode 12 of 13 of uh, um, the Misfit of Demon King Academy. First of all, this show so much better than I thought it was going to be. So pleasantly surprised at how good the Misfit of Demon King Academy is. I really didn't have much expectations of the show other than it being another overpowered main character thing, and noticing there were like 3 female characters, and it being I just assumed it was going to be another harem show, and it's really not. Um, uh, it really isn't. It's really a pretty fun series. I'm pleasantly surprised. Uh, let's see. So Eleanor reveals that she's a product of magic, that Zessia is a clone. Diego's also a clone. It's all. And the thing we knew, they're not Canon's reincarnations. They're Jurga did magic and gave up his life in order to make this shitty magic because couldn't he couldn't handle uh, the fact that there was peace and he didn't have anything to do with it, and he was like, no, the demons have to die, and the demon king's gonna come back, so we gotta be ready for it. So it's all his shit. Um, and Canon never resurrected. He just never came back. But I think I think he will. Uh, or he did. Let's see. Uh, Eleanor wants to die to stop this chain of events, but her children, quote unquote, are like, please don't. Which is like, whoa, okay. Uh, let's see. So then we see the 3 demon emperors that we haven't seen yet because he's had a bunch of demon emperors and they were uh, Anos defeated them and was able to take them over. But here's the 3 he hasn't. And a mystery person that is revealed to be Avos. And he takes Canon's sword that he should not be able to wield because he's supposed to be a demon king. And he's the fake demon king. He rallies the demons. There's going to be a big war. Why would they want that? Who knows? But then Anos is rallying his own forces. There's a nice moment between Lei and Misa. That's cute. It's lovely. Usually the other characters in a show like this don't get romance moments, so that's kind of fun. But as I said, this show is a little different than other shows of its style. So that's nice. And then they're going to stop. They're working hard to stop the people from fighting each other. And then there's a big thing where Avos is Lay. Avos is been all this time. Lay had his memories of being canon. He was the hero canon. And Lay is canon. And also been pretending to be Demon Lord because some shit went down, and we're going to find out why. And I did not see that part coming. I definitely suspected that he was the hero. I thought that he was the reincarnated hero and didn't have his memories. And I had assumed that all this time that the character we haven't met yet but we've heard a lot about, we met him in the past, we haven't seen him in the future. Where is Shin? Shin was supposed to be reincarnated, and they were trying to get us to believe that he was the reincarnation of Shin. But I just assumed that Shin never actually died and was Avos all this time. But apparently he hasn't been, and that is news to me. I don't know if we'll get that in the next episode or not, but I really thought he was. So yeah, I'm excited for this next episode. It was fucking. They got me. They got me with a twist that I didn't see coming. I've been meaning to rewatch 8th MS Team. I hope it holds up. The last time I saw 8th MS Team was a couple of years ago, and it did, to me anyway, hold up. I can report the Gundam shows that I have gone back to, and if they hold up or not. 8th MS Team held up the last time I saw it. I was happy to see that. What was before that? The one before that, I rewatched most of, but not all of, Iron Blooded Orphans. Iron Blooded Orphans held up. That show still kicks ass. And Endless Waltz, I still think is a cool Gundam movie. I don't know if it ever really held up because I don't know if it's actually good or not, but I did like watching it again. But of course, I am predisposed to really enjoy that series because it's my favorite Gundam. Oh, yeah. Blooded Orphans is incredible. But yeah, it definitely holds up and I think is great. The show I actually want to go back to, but I didn't buy the Blu-rays, so I don't know if and when I ever will, is I would like to watch the Blu-ray version of Gundam X and see the actual pay. Somebody got paid to make these translations instead of the fan sub, because I've only seen it fan subbed because it didn't have an official U.S. release until recently. So I would be interested in seeing that. Because that is wasn't a great series. It was a throwback, but I think it had a lot of heart. All right, so we got to build our fourth head. I didn't build the fourth head. We have 3 heads here so far. We got to build the fourth one. But yeah, this kit, they really want you to buy multiples of this and put the different heads and shoulders, because there are different shoulders we can put on here too. So we'll be able to mix and match things together, which I think is a pretty fun idea. And then D12. There it is. But yeah. I went back to it and I thought it was some stuff holds up, some doesn't. I would like to try X again. I maybe someday will watch Turn A again. I probably won't ever see Turn A again, but I didn't love it when it was airing, and I have some friends that really enjoy that series, and so maybe I need to give it a second chance, but probably not. Probably not ever watch that again. And then maybe Reconquista and G I should give another shot. I liked it at the time, but I didn't love it at the time. Alright, so we've got a bunch of different shoulders to build. We got a bunch of different heads here. We're going to put this head on because I think this is a great head to put on there. Yeah, I'm happy with choosing this we chose this as our big head, and it looks a little bit like Master Chief's helmet. So I like that. And then the eye being red, I think is a great choice. And then the double eyes being blue isn't. It's like that. I think that or teal. I think that works pretty good. And then there's a head that is just a head, and there's no sticker on it. Could probably put a sticker on this, but it doesn't have a sticker. It does look similar to this one. Kind of, but not really. But yeah, this one doesn't have any sticker on it. It's just a head. So we'll put that on there. I guess this is more iconic, the helmet. But yeah, comes with a bunch of different heads because it's just an NPC. So they want you to buy a couple of these and make all of them. We'll make all these double here. Yeah, I'm due for probably a Gundam rewatch of something. It's been a hot minute since I watched a series, so maybe I need to go and check something out. I mean, it's been too long. I don't know. Like I said, pretty recently did a rewatch of Iron Blooded Orphans, and it was great. But I haven't gone back to 8th MS Team in a couple of years. It's really fucking good. Yeah. 2, 6, 7. Putting stuff together there. Yeah. So I got like I said, on Monday we'll continue this build on my next stream. Wednesday is my bonus stream, the non-building stream, where I'm going to be talking about anime that came out this season and maybe do a little preview, a little more in-depth review of the next season and what I'm going to be watching there, and what I'm interested in. For that is, like I said, next season there's a lot of shows. I will definitely be dropping things that just didn't keep up my interest, or maybe there's too many. Like if a lot of shows come out on Friday and Saturday, I might try to save one until Sunday, to talk about on Monday. That kind of thing, which I do now, or I have done in the past, where there was a show that came out on Saturdays that I didn't watch till later because I was just like, I got too many shows to watch, so I don't want to. All right, so we got to build 2 more of these. So here's the thing. They want me to make 4 of these, but then they only give me, but then there's 3 different sets of shoulders. So it's like, okay. So let me think, build 2. Oh, no. So I only build 2 of them, but I could put on all these different shoulder pieces. I could put on basically 3 different sets. You can see them right here. 3 different ones. We'll do, for now, we'll just do D11. But know that when I'm done with this, I'll be doing a little photo shoot with all the different shoulders and stuff. You can also take one of these shoulders off to put on, later. Put the shield on, right? No. No, yeah, there's a shield you can put on. You can take one of these off, put the shield on. So yeah, you can really customize these, but they definitely would like you to get multiples, which is fine. It's like, if I was going to do a display, it would make sense to have these out, but since I'm not doing a diorama, I think we'll be okay. But yeah, if you all got anything going on with you, we got another 10 to 15 minutes left on the stream tonight. So if anything y'all are excited about, anything you're up to, feel free to let me know. Sometimes I don't have a lot to talk about because a lot hasn't gone on with me. Tomorrow I will be again hanging out. I'm doing a little moderating for the Game Developers of Color Expo. I'm very excited about that. Just doing another hour of that. But that will be fun to do. I'm happy to be able to donate some time for that. And really, it just means that for an hour, I will be able to watch. I'll watching before that, but for an hour, I will be really paying attention to chat and watching some of the presentations. But really, I'll just be in and out of that all day because they're just fucking cool to be able to hang out and help out. I'm always happy that I'm able to donate some time to a very cool convention that also like you get a lot out of it. You can get a lot out of it. Even somebody who's just there to observe and help out. Uh, I was definitely more useful last year when I helped out in the main theater with people like setting up their laptops and not going over time. This one they record them in advance and then we're just presenting them. So that's a little different. Um, but mostly now it's just being a mod. But I'm happy to be a mod because it's a great cause. And like I said, I'm just going to watch a bunch of the talks. Uh, that's very cool. But yeah, I'm doing that tomorrow for a little bit. I'm going to try to go for a nice long walk, get some exercise in before my shift starts. That's a goal. Well, hopefully I'll be motivated to do that because the weather's going to get warmer and shittier here. So before that, I like to go for a walk because that way I'm not sweating through my clothes and also getting all of the bug bites here. So I'll go out for that, and that'll be cool. Supposedly next week, my pre-orders from Premium Bandai will start coming out, and we will be in very short order. I will be the proud possessor of a new to me Death Scythe, the manga version, the Rosette, which is just basically a Death Scythe with kind of like Gundam wing. The original, not Wing Zero, the original Gundam Wing wings, pretty much. But it looks rad, and I can't wait to build that. That's coming. And the real grade of the Tall Geese 2 real grade. I'm excited to put that together in the future as well. Those two are coming. I pre-ordered those in April, so I'm very happy that they're finally shipping. So those will be on the way. And then shortly after that are some later pre-orders that supposedly are going to come. Those could get pushed, who knows? But supposedly those are coming. And I'm excited about a couple other kits. A RX-78 clear high grade. This should be pretty fun. And then the injection machine, which I had talked about previously and am so hyped to build. You don't understand how excited I am. Where is 11 and where is 10 and 11? It's over here. What's going on? Oh, here it is. 10 and 11 were in shipping popped off of here, and so I didn't lose. But like this was supposed to be here, and it did pop off. I'm really hoping my kits get delivered okay. Just got something held at the post office, and I'm not thrilled about having to go pick it up. Lashbrook, I'm so sorry you have to go pick that up. That sucks. Yeah, hoping my kits arrive pretty good too. How familiar am I with Kingdom Death? Raid asks. I am going to refresh my memory. That is a cooperative game that I knew the name of this. I've never played Kingdom Death. But I believe a friend of mine has this game. But are we talking about, like a cooperative, like tabletop game? Is that Kingdom Death? Because I think that's what I'm thinking of. But yeah, I would say familiar enough to maybe know what you're talking about, but I have not played it. Unfortunately, I don't. I had a tabletop crew when I lived in New York for a few years, and that eventually thinking of doing a 24-hour extra life Kingdom Death stream. Ooh, okay. Um, I yeah, my I really loved playing tabletop stuff, but my tabletop groups kind of fizzled. It ended up being like some parties like would turn into like werewolf or mafia things, and then I had a little bit of group that liked playing some stuff, um, but it kind of dwindled. And then for a while, I had an on Discord only, like just or video chat or whatever, D&D group that then became a fiasco group, and that was really fun. And then we were playing a modified version of Lasers and Feelings. Um, it was a large group. I got involved in a large group of people, and we were doing scenario one and dones, but reoccurring characters. It was basically like the beginning, the best part, the beginning of Mask. There's other series like this, but like there's a problem. Gotta go. We'll see you. Thanks for dropping by, Donk. Appreciate it. Um, uh, the My favorite part of like the show Mask was when they needed certain people and you knew who was going to be in that episode, right? You just picked they picked like the people that were best appropriate for this thing. And you see them all getting the notification and their device, and then their vehicles transform into another vehicle, and they're the ones in the episode. So it was kind of like that, where it was like there were about 4 or 5 people who were DMs or GMs who could GM the games, and then you just like found a few people that wanted to play, and they played their same characters. And the thing that was kind of fun was you could be like, oh well, 3 weeks ago this happened, and tell like a story, kind of like summarize what happened to the last time you played, even if you're playing with people who didn't play before. And you kept, what was going on with you because it's Lasers and Feelings, so you kind of keep track of like your character and your character growth and your abilities, and then hopefully the GM would know like enough about your character, even if it was just minor information, enough to like influence the scenario that they were going to play out so that you would get something out of it with your unique character. It was a really fun application of the uh, of it, and it was a great way to keep up the D and D vibes, the tabletop you know gameplay going, uh, even though we were in a world where people didn't have time for that. Uh, Contiguous characters having great potential. Yeah, and it was fun because it would be like I would get to know the other characters, and then like someone would say something about having an eye patch, and you were like, "Yeah, what happened, dude?" And you're like, "Oh, well, 3 weeks ago we had this thing, and yeah, I ended up with an eye patch." And you're like, "Oh, wow, weird." Uh, and you kind of play off the reality that all these characters had lives that they had been living in between. And then eventually that kind of like people got busy. We brought it back a little bit right when lockdown started, where people were like, "Hey, maybe I want to do something like that again." And some people were pretty hyped about trying it again, which was nice. It didn't really last, and uh, I've been trying to get another group together for even Fiasco, even something. I mean, I would like I say even. I would like to do Fiasco because I really enjoy the improv of it because I miss doing improv, uh, and I feel like I was in. I did a little bit in a panel for PAX where I was playing a game, Smack Talk Showdown, and I was like, ooh, I feel really rusty when it comes to the creative energy that I would definitely need for this. Like I felt like I was, uh, like my brain took a second to kind of to get into gear and to play the game right because I just haven't done improv in a while. The closest has been the last time I was on Loading Ready Run. Um, we did a we did what do you call it? Oh, we did the patently stupid, uh, and so I was able to like pitch some uh, what do you call it? Oh, yeah, I was able to pitch like a silly idea in that game and kind of improvise through that. And that was like the last time I felt like I was like, oh, I felt pretty good doing that. I was like, oh, okay, I'm having fun with this. I'm figuring out what I need to say here to get my point across. This is fun. But it had been a while since I did any kind of improvisation. I do miss it. I used to love it. All right, so we got our arms done, and well, we're going to put this head on here. We got one set of shoulders. We'll put the other shoulders on when we do the photo shoot at the end, I guess. Um, because basically, we can do 4 different heads, 3 different shoulders, and then one shoulder thing repeated with the shield on. So we have options. Um, Fiasco is great, but I found it pretty hard to play online just because of waiting for the cues of when to talk without interrupting. Yeah, uh, I've never done improv as much as I pretend to. But people person, should I do an improv class for D&D reasons? So I think that improv for beginners, level 0, level 1, introduction to improv. Those things I think can be very beneficial to live games, to if you want to do like if you're a kind of person that has to give presentations and you don't like doing it. Just getting some of those practical tools, and sometimes they do workshops. Like sometimes they'll be like improv workshops that you do with your coworkers. I don't like those because I think a integral part of improv is acknowledging that this is very goofy and then doing it anyway. And if you're doing it with coworkers, it's hard to let go and just go with it. But if you're doing it with strangers or with a friend that you can joke about it later, that's a lot easier in order to just like to give it up, because you gotta like, because you're gonna be doing like the name game, and you're going to be doing a superhero thing where you strike a pose and you say the name of a superhero that has the first letter that shares with your name. And like you're going to be doing really goofy, get you out of your head, like warm ups. And it's hard to do that in a work environment. Some people do, and if they want to do it, they can. I think it's nonsense to do that. I think you're better off doing like an improv thing by yourself. But yeah, I think like you can work on getting out of your head, being free to kind of like explore. Um, a really great thing about improv that lends itself to D&D and live play games is the fact that improv is cooperative. It's not argumentative. You're not trying to win. You're trying to guess and grow and build the scenes out. So even short form games that are not competitive can be helpful for that, because you're not trying to do the best of everyone. You're trying to have the party win and be interesting and make strong, fun choices. And the thing I always tell people that are new to D&D is uh, you're not trying to make the absolute perfect rolls, not gonna fuck up, get everything right character. Don't worry about that. Just worry about having the most fun with that character and making fun choices and having a good time with that. A failure roll is not a failure. It's just not the best case scenario. It might end up being the more fun scenario. Yeah, I mean, like, it also it can depend on the group that you're improvising with, right? Yeah, fails sometimes are better than succeeding, but it depends on the group you're playing with. Because some people are like pretty casual about it. Some people are role playing; they're fucking going for it. And some people are like, "Hey, yeah, I'm half into it. This character is like a different version of me, and I'm having a good time with it. Uh, and like this is gonna be a fun time." And sometimes things are like, "Okay, I'm going for it. I'm really into it. I have a lot of backstory, and I'm really happy about this. And then there's some people that are just like in the middle that are like, sometimes I'm really into this, and I do a character voice, and other times I'm like, I roll a 7, and like they're just gonna give it a little bit of love. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap up the stream. I hope that helps. But like, yeah, you can just like go for it. Like, sometimes improv can be helpful to just like the beginnings of improv training can just be helpful to like open you up to not feeling foolish and going with it and agreeing to continue to build together. Um, but yeah, I've known D&D groups that like took a improv workshop together. They did like a one-off workshop because they were just like, this will be fun. Anyway, so what's going to happen now is we're going to raid somebody. Uh, we're going to go find. I know exactly who we're going to raid, but I'm going to double check to make sure that all is cool. But I talked about this at the very beginning of the stream, and as long as everything is looking good, I know what we're going to go do. Oh, no. Okay. No. So that is over. All right. So we're not going to go raid that. Uh, I thought we were going to go raid, loading ready, run. Oh, he's on a break. So he's going to come back. We're going to hang out here until he comes back. But they're taking a commercial break. We're going to go raid, loading ready, run. Um, uh, Ian from Loading Ready Run is doing a 24-hour stream. He's doing the Le Mans digitally. So we're going to go there because that's just going to be a fun raid. But they happen to just be on a break, so we'll hang out here for a minute or two. I'll promote what's going on with me. Again, next build stream, continuing this, will be on Monday. We will continue this build here. Uh, and put on some heads and take a bunch of photos of this. I believe I'll be doing a Lego set after this. I'm going to be doing that shuttle transporter because I think that'll be a fun build to do next. So that's coming up in the future. Thanks everybody so much for watching the stream and hanging out. Again, I'm going to hopefully, I can't believe we got this commercial right when I want to go there, but we'll hang out here for a minute or two. But I do, like, of all the stuff that's happening tonight, I think this is the most interesting of just like, just the Le Mans as a concept of doing a 24-hour stream. If you're going to do a 24-hour stream, having it being this, I just think is interesting. So we'll go do that. Next Wednesday, again, at 9 p.m. Eastern, is my Pat Baer's Anime Club Live. That'll be my bonus stream where I am going to be talking about various things that you can do, or me just talking about anime, stuff I'm into in the world of anime from this last season, kind of doing a wrap-up of this season that we're in right now, and maybe a little bit of a preview of the next one, depending on how long it takes, and, you know, answering questions from the chat and that kind of stuff. Yes. Yes, well, farewell. Thanks so much. We are going to go and raid. We're just gonna raid. We're just gonna do it, and we'll go and hang out in their commercials, and then hopefully Ian will come back soon and be like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" So we're gonna go do that. Feel free to come along on the raid. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I would love it if you did. Thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight here, and see you on the next Build with Baer. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.